I hope everybody can hear me, can see me. I apologize for the last 2 days. I was missing in action, so I promised to recuperate over the weekend. So today I promise that we'll have a continuation of the extraordinary journey of the pump and dump in Shape Robotics, and let's say reasoning, I think, behind that and how it happened. So the last episode we discussed on how the pump happened and the influence of Lars Stockholm on the price and how the price was constructed. Now we'll discuss about the anatomy of the pre-dump period. And I need to start by explaining a very interesting situation, or to tell you a very interesting story. So there are three people here, three characters that are extremely important for you to remember. One is Michael Faust, one of the most important players in Shape Robotics. He used to own or control a very strong position in Shape, directly and indirectly, almost 25% of the shares, probably even more. I don't know exactly. What is very interesting is that the other two players, Lars Stockholm and Martin Bungard, used to work together with Lars Stockholm, and they had a company. If you can imagine this, they had a company together. So, and or not necessarily a company in the real sense, but actually, what I understand from Michael Foss used to be their boss at a certain moment in time. What is really intriguing here, and of course, on top of that, we have Soren Bendiksen, who joined in this scheme, and Soren Bendiksen was also part of the same group, friends of Martin Bungard, and yeah, let me tell you what really happened. So Martin Bungard entered in Shape Robotics almost at the same time as Michael Faust did. He purchased around 4%, 4.5% during his investment in Shape Robotics. And this investment was done directly through him or under companies that he can control, including his wife. So what happened is that, and now it becomes a romance story or a divorce story. When the pump and dump happened at Shape, Martin Bungard went through a divorce, according to the information that I received, and the wife of former wife of Martin went with her portfolio to be administered by Fundamental and Michael Foss. So this created a scenario in which Michael Foss found out about the investments of Martin Bungard, and Martin Bungard, together with a friend Lars Stockholm, his best friend. So this is already public knowledge because I shared the recordings where Mr. Lars Stockholm has admitted directly that his best friend was Martin Bungard, tried to play a very wicked game on your money, with your money, against Michael Foss. So basically, the pump and dump had a direct victim, which was Michael Foss. So they wanted to coordinate an attack to short the position of Michael Foss because Martin Bungard had and Lars Stockholm for sure had a beef, how it is called today, with Michael Foss. And this is why, for instance, at the first meeting that I got with Lars Stockholm after I explained yesterday, not yesterday, 3 days ago, sorry, I apologize. I met with Lars Stockholm at the end of March, and the first thing that he started to tell me was that he wants to help Martin Bungard because Michael Foss is a crook. and I didn't know what that meant at the time. And of course, I always had a good relationship with Michael Foss, which I totally respect. The fellow, I think he's a very very professional, correct individual. I don't have anything bad to say about him, only good things. He has always respected the company and respected the procedures, never tried to obtain information that could position his investment better or worse. What I have to tell you is that, and I never share this information, is that Michael Foss gave me the email that started everything. So he gave me and shared with me the information about the back of the envelope analysis that started the pump. So this is very well coordinated. It includes also personal paybacks and vendettas between important players in the life of Shape. They're not so important maybe if the company was bigger, but with the help of Carnegie Infrastructure, Lars Topholm and Martin Bungard wanted to extract money from Michael Foss first of all. This was the first extraction. Of course, this extraction also created direct victims in the retail investors. Can everybody hear me correct? I just want to make sure that I'm not speaking alone. So say wave, say something. So this pump actually, although it might sound that it benefited even Michael Foss, who bought shares at around 13, 14 crowns, it actually was targeted against it. And of course, if Michael Foss will see this recording, he will remember that he tried together with me actually to convince Jeppe Franzen to go public with this pump when it was happening. So between Q2 and Q3 of 2024. Why Jeppe said no, we will see later on. But Michael Foss was a victim of the pump. It was something targeted mostly against him. I also have written confirmation of the fact that from the records is that this part is Lars Topholm, Martin Bungard, and Soren Bendiksen all bought when Michael Foss bought. So they were following Michael Foss's investment mostly because they said, at least this is what they said to me, is that Michael Foss had insider information and that's why they're following Michael Foss, because Michael Foss knows more than the market knows. From my relationship with Michael Foss, and I repeat, I never have noticed any sort of push to gather asymmetrical information from the company from on his behalf. So I always saw professionalism. I don't care about what other people are saying about Michael Foss. I can only say that I respect the individual and I respect the company he represents. And I apologize formally again also on this channel the fact that I was not more um, driven to release this information about the pump and dump when he requested us to do it. I explained to you why I didn't do it. Of course, this is not necessarily an excuse on my behalf. I could have pushed it harder, but I said that I'm not Danish, so I don't know how the reaction of the market will be and what will be. And so I counted that, let's say, the board of directors, and I remind some of the idiots that every day discuss about Shape Robotics and talk about me all the time. I remind them that I was part of a management group that included 7 people. So it's not only me that decides on stuff. But long story short, why the pump happened is because Lars Topholm wanted to help his best friend, and his best friend was and is Martin Bungard. You can check their Facebook profiles. You will see them together all the time, so it's public knowledge. And this help came at the expense of your money and at the expense of Shape Robotics. So why the pump happened is most likely due to personal revenge and, of course, money. How stupid can somebody be not to look at the fact that these fellows are all um, part of the board in Erbio, a company that was just raising capital at that point. So let me share the screen so everybody can know what I'm talking about. So this is the company Erbio where your money has been invested, the money that you lost, and what Shape has lost. This is the company Erbio, and I think that uh, you can look here. A very beautiful picture. The managing director of DNB Carnegie, Lars Stockholm, the guy who stole money out of your pockets and out of Michael Foss's pockets, is the chairman. All the money went to Erbio. Okay, so everybody needs to follow the logic behind it. It happened exactly in the same time as uh, the Shape pump and dump when Erbio required capital. Of course, don't get yourself fooled about some nice faces here. This is the original criminal, Mr. Lars Stockholm, who, uh, from his position at DNB Carnegie managing director, extracted money from retail investors and small shareholders. But his goal was to cripple Michael Foss's position. And look, he succeeded because the Michael Foss was forced to sell in Shape. It's an attack that caused the bankruptcy and, of course, in coordination with finances, uh, coordinated with finances help, we arrived in the situation that we are today. So just to conclude and to explain again, very simple, the reason behind the pump was a battle between people that used to work together. Mr. Lars Stockholm, Mr. Michael Foss, Mr. Martin Bungard, Mr. Soren Bendixen, all working together and having a battle between each other, a battle that was won by Lars Stockholm, who destroyed the value of Shape Robotics and Shape Robotics, which was one of the most interesting investments that has ever done by Fundamental, Michael Foss's vehicle. And I'm a firm uh, supporter of Michael Foss, like I always been, like I said. And one of the goals is that we try to help a recovery we try to help Fundamental to recover its lost money, and of course, all retail investors who have lost because of this extraction scheme that destroyed Shape Robotics before uh, the reconstruction on the 11th. So that was what I wanted to explain. I hope I made myself understood quite well. Please ask me questions. I just wanted to give the background on the structure and the structure of people that were involved in this scheme, who are the parties, and why retailers usually don't have anything to say when things like this happen, because retailers just see the price action. So I repeat, Michael Foss was aware. He wanted us to do something. He asked the company, me, and Jeppe Franzen to do something. I said I wanted to do something. Jeppe Franzen said he didn't want to go to the prosecutor's office and to the DFSA. And for that reason, we delayed 1 year the disclosure. Most likely it would have been the same scenario with the destruction of um, the trust in the management, and the same scenario would have happened, and most likely people in the board didn't want to be part of that. I will just explain to you, for instance, Andre Fern was forced to retire from Shape Robotics because of the media scandal. He received direct threats from the manager of his the company where he works at Scanbox that he has to retire because of the noise surrounding Shape Robotics. The same situation happened to Martin Kerr, who worked for a reputable company called ISS. The same scenario, so he had to withdraw from the board. It's very tough to um, survive an attack like the ones we survived from, and I understand the people that just wanted to avoid uh, everything, you know. So, long story short, now you know the reason behind the battle. You know how the battle was fought, and who are the temporary winners and who are the partial losers. And we will make sure that we will recuperate that. And in the next episode, we will exactly show how much was extracted and through which method the extraction took place. And of course, in the last episode, we will discuss how to recover everything from that point. Louise, I think you joined the channel and you still don't ask questions, so I'm feeling a little bit frustrated that you don't love me anymore. Anything regarding the topic? It is a complicated process. I just want to create the context behind it so everybody can make their own analysis and, of course, use critical thinking to get to the bottom of it. I also want to, let's say, share a little bit of uh, sadness surrounding the level of discussions on Nordnet, and uh, it seems like we have a couple of uh, retards here. Progression has read my post. I have posted that Nordnet has two official idiots, Progression and Overleaf. They're pretty much developed an session with me. I feel fatal, but I'll have a life. I don't know. I didn't say that. I said a completely different thing. I don't know what they translated. And he says Progression that if you're not with Mark, then you are the enemy yourself. No, it's not about being with me. It's about bombing every article and every thread opened by anybody that wants to have an opinion on Shape Robotics, and trying to push on the throat of everybody their point of view, which is a very simplistic, non-imaginative point of view that replicates the idiocracy from finance. And I remind everybody that finance is facing a lawsuit that it's 15 million euros in the making, which they will lose. And everything that finance has said is false. It's only allegations. It's only cherry picking from different reports and different, let's say, articles that they extracted from my past. And it is unfair to have a comment on Nordnet that, for instance, there is a fellow here, Messianic. I'm sorry, I haven't really followed, but what's going on? He just asked what is going on, and the first thing that Overleaf is saying is that I'm a criminal or a fraud. And actually, both of them don't have any kind of proof. So, Progression, Overleaf, I talk to you directly. Just prove me you're not an idiot. It's simple. I'm not asking you not to say to say the same thing that I do. I'm just asking you to come with proof, because making me a fraud, I simply don't care personally how you want to make me, but for the spirit of good discussions, at least respect other people that have different opinions, which are much more than the ones that have your opinion. Okay, so as long as you behave like idiots, I will be very honest and transparent and call you like that. So at this moment, it is what it is. This is the level of education these two people have, hiding behind the unknown profile and trying to think that they're smarter than others. I think it's better get a life. It's much more interesting to live in real life than to live in the environment that you create yourself. And of course, I think that it's important to get an opinion from people that have also shares in Shape Robotics and not those that have zero interest in Shape Robotics. So if Louise is not progression, then I would like to have a questions. Otherwise, I will still continue to think that it's progression, Louise. Good. So please don't get into to the people that are following this. Please don't get into discussions with fellows like this ones. I find it counterproductive. Let's prepare ourselves as best as possible. I hope to see many of you on the reconstruction court date. I will be flying on Sunday evening to. Actually, I think Sunday afternoon I have the flight to Copenhagen. So I will be in court. I will be supporting the company. I will be doing what I have done in the last uh, almost 3 months, I think, right now. And let's get this through. So, hope I have informed you transparently, correctly, simply, so that you all get an idea of what is really going on in Shape Robotics and who is contesting the fact that the pump and dump was the cause of everything. It is the root cause. So I apologize for those that don't understand that the publicly listed company is supposed to get financing and investments from the public investors, and when the public investors lose faith and trust in that company, then it's dead. So to whoever comments on the sidelines without ever running a company like Shape Robotics, which is quite a difficult task as you might imagine, I just advise get a life. Good guys. So uh, thank you for everything, and yeah, let's keep in touch. Have a good day. Bye bye.